As fans and supporters and teams enjoy themselves in the World Cup in Qatar, human rights groups and the news media are busy in documenting all the evidence to show the world what has really went on in Qatar before this event. There is a video put together by France 24 that I am going to share with you guys. In this video, a Nepali lady share her ordeal on how she is feeling after the loss of her husband. Her husband worked in Qatar and came back in a coffin. When I saw this video, I was really touched. And she is not the only one going through a hard time. There are many other people whose loved ones have died building Qatar. And according to what I read in an article, over 56,000 people died building all the infrastructures that you see in Qatar. So I think that this is a time we all must add our voice to this call. We all must create awareness. We all must make sure that FIFA and Qatar come up with a fund to compensate all those who have lost loved ones in Qatar. The migrant workers have been treated so poorly in Qatar, and I do believe they deserve some compensation. Qatar is a very, very wealthy country. Qatar has the means to compensate the families of those who have died building their country. What they need right now is the willingness to do just that. So, before you watch the video, please let us know in the comment section below. Do you think that the families of those who died building Qatar deserves to be compensated? Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. Now, watch the video.
At the Kathmandu International Airport, this man is returning from Qatar with the coffin of his colleague and friend. Both of them were working on World Cup sites as construction workers. 35-year-old Umesh Yadav died after falling from a scaffold.
He was working on the construction site. I also work in Qatar for the same company. We were working when the accident happened. I helped to bring his body back. I did as much as I could. He has a wife and children, parents, younger brother.
Every day, 500 people queue up here at the Qatar Visa Center. Like 31-year-old Suradeb, he found a job as a baggage handler with a salary of 300 euros per month, which is 3 times the average salary in Nepal.
I have to take this kind of job because I have to feed the 9 members of my family.
Nepalis are the main group of migrant workers employed at World Cup sites. Most of them travel from this agricultural belt at the foothills of the Himalayas in the far west of Nepal. The extreme poverty of the region forces the people to take this drastic step, even at the risk of never returning. That in turn leaves their families in greater distress, like Samita and her children. 6 months ago, her husband died in Doha at the construction site of one of the World Cup stadiums. He was 31 years old. He had been working there for 3 years. The couple had hoped for a better future for their daughter and son.
He went abroad so we could build our own house. But after 4 months, he died. They got what they wanted. They'll be happy playing football. But all that happiness has been taken from us. We're left with nothing. Just a paper saying my husband died of a heart attack.
Whenever a Nepali worker dies in Qatar, the cause of death given is almost always the same, a heart attack, which is categorized as a natural death. This exempts the companies from paying compensation to the victims' families.
You all have heard the story of people who have lost loved ones in Qatar. A lot of migrant workers went to Qatar, not because they really love to go there, but because of their situations back home. And I understand that we cannot blame Qatar for everything. Qatar gave them a job, which I appreciate that. The government of their countries are supposed to take care of them, not Qatar. That I understand very well. But we must understand that those people went to Qatar and they built all the infrastructures that Qatar has. They were paid very poorly. They were treated very poorly. It's not just me saying it. There are countless of videos and articles written about the way Qatar treats its migrant workers. And even the Qatari authorities have come out to say that they have fixed things with regards to the migrant issue. So it's not just like people trying to sabotage Qatar. It's a fact that Qatar has treated those people very, very poorly, and many people have died building Qatar. The stadiums that you guys are currently playing football in, the stadiums that you guys are currently sitting and watching the games, the hotel that you are sleeping in, the theme park or the amusement park that you are visiting was built by someone who won't even enjoy it, who died in the process of building it, by someone whose name will never be remembered. So, when human rights groups and other people are calling for Qatar to at least compensate people who died building Qatar, I believe it is a just cost. I believe it's fair enough that Qatar should compensate the families of those who died building Qatar. I think it's a just and fair thing to do, and Qatar should do it. I did a previous video about the same subject, and people commented saying that Qatar shouldn't be blamed for the death of migrant workers because the people who went there knew the risks they were undertaking before they went there. And which is fair enough. I totally agree with you guys. The people who went there knew that they were going to work. But those people do not have an influence or do not have much influence on how the Qatari authority treats them. Remember, those people who went there, majority of them are laborers. Majority of them are not highly educated, and majority of them came from very low income countries. They cannot say anything, and that was why Qatar treats them like nothing. But I guess you and I will agree on this simple fact. It is the responsibility of the privileged ones to protect and speak out for the less privileged one. If you are a privileged person, maybe you are a famous person, or you are an international footballer, or you are an artist, it is your job to speak out for the less privileged ones. Because your voices have much impact than the voices of the less privileged people. And moreover, the fact that someone is less privileged than you doesn't mean that you get to treat the person like a nobody. If you cannot treat a fellow Qatari that way, do not treat the migrant workers that way. The migrant workers are humans and they deserve to be treated humanely. They deserve to be respected. They deserve to be treated fairly. It is just a basic human right. It's just the normal thing to do. You must learn to treat others the way you want them to treat you. So I urge every one of you guys out there to please add your voice to this call. FIFA and Qatar should compensate those migrant workers who died building Qatar. The families of many of those people who died can be reached because human rights organizations and investigative journalists have done a great job in documenting everything. Now it's left for FIFA and Qatar to take this upon themselves and do the honorable thing. They should be responsible enough to do the right thing. Remember, Qatar makes so much money from this World Cup. FIFA also make billions from this World Cup. So they have the resources to compensate the family of those who died building the stadium and all the other infrastructures that are being used in this World Cup. And my last point before I go, to all of you guys sitting in those stadiums, to all of you guys sleeping in those 5-star hotels, remember, there are people who built it, and some of them have died. Be the voice of the voiceless. Speak out on their behalf. Add your voice to the call. And together, let's create an awareness so that Qatar and FIFA will compensate the families of those who died. And to you guys out there, share your thoughts and opinions with us in the comment section. Do you think that the migrant workers deserve to be compensated or not? And if yes, then why is Qatar and FIFA proving difficult to come forward with some fundings and compensate these people? Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing your thoughts and opinions on the stories that we cover on this show. If you came across any story on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, or on Instagram that you thought is worth sharing with the rest of the world, please send it our way through any of our social media platforms. We shall be very happy to talk about it on this show. Find our other social media platforms on this channel description section. Kindly support the show with $1 or more through the crowdfunding website Patreon, or send directly to us through our personal PayPal account. You have no idea how far your support and donation take us, and we shall forever be grateful to you. Please like this video, share this video, leave us a comment below, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Little deeds of goodwill like this one helps the channel a lot, and we shall forever be grateful to you. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one. Kai.